Okay, so the bike that we've got here today is the Canyon Grail, a new gravel or adventure bike, gradventure if you like, that's had people talking over the last few weeks since it was first revealed. And that's largely on the basis of its radical new handlebar design. Canyon called it originally the hover bar, and now they've changed that. They've decided they're going to call it the Grail cockpit instead. Okay, so what's the rationale behind this design? So with a standard bar, the most flex you can induce is when you're down on the drops, okay? And the least is when your hands are up here on the tops. Canyon argue that this is the exact opposite of what you want. Canyon argue that you want the most stiffness when you're down here, when you're going for it. And you want the least stiffness and the most flex when you're up on the tops, you're taking it easy. So what Canyon have come up with is this double-decker bar. So the top deck isn't directly connected to the stem section. So what they can do then is add flex up here without adding even more flex down here. Okay, so the flex area up here is designed to be compliant. The idea is that it absorbs vibration as you're riding. How much movement do you get? Well, it's nothing like suspension on a mountain bike for a start. You can get some flex by just pressing down on it like this, but you know, it's nothing like a mountain bike system. This being the bike industry, we love a statistic. Canyon say that you can get 7 times the amount of vertical deflection as you do with their H31 Ergo cockpit, with the addition of just 120 grams of weight and no extra maintenance. Obviously, if you were to have a bike with suspension system, you're going to have quite a bit more weight at the front end, and also potentially you're going to have to look after it by regular maintenance. So the hover bar, or the Grail cockpit, is obviously the main talking point of this bike, but it's by no means a one-trick pony. We've got at the back here, we've got Canyon's VCLS 2.0 seat post design, which is a 2-part system. It's a leaf spring design with a clamp that pivots. So the idea is that you can press down on here, as you can see, and some of that's the rear tyre, but you can see that the seat post is flexing, and the idea being that the saddle tilt remains constant. One of the things that Canyon have done is they've put the clamping point for its seat post really low into the frame, which gives you longer effective bending length that's available for that seat post. The wheels and tyres are both tubeless ready, which means you can run, for example, lower pressures without the danger of picking up a pinch flat if you hit a pothole or any other obstacle on an off-road situation. These are 40mm Schwalbe G1 bites on here. The geometry is fairly close to that of Canyon's sport geometry, which is what they use across their endurance bikes, which means that it's a little more upright than you get on a standard road bike, but it's by no means a sit up and beg position. One thing is that because of this handlebar design, you do only get a limited amount of upward downward movement available to you. At the front end is just 15mm, which is quite a bit less than you get on a standard system. Canyon have built this bike with a long wheelbase to add stability when you're riding off-road, so you can keep your line much easier. All other things being equal, when you lengthen the wheelbase out, you're going to lose a little bit of manoeuvrability. So to add that agility back in, Canyon spec quite a short stem. The stem might look quite long on here, but that's a bit of an optical illusion really. The effective stem length is pretty short, which is something that is normal in the off-road world for adding some extra agility to the handling. The model we've got here is the Canyon Grail CF SL 8.0 SL. So there's 2 SLs in there. Why is that? That's because Canyon have got 2 carbon fibre Grail platforms, the SL and the SLX. The 8.0 refers to the spec level on this bike. In this case it's Ultegra level. There are 3 bikes that have Ultegra components in the range. There's the one with a mechanical Ultegra, there's the Di2 version, and then there's this version that we've got here, which is mechanical with a wheels upgrade to Reynolds Assault ATR discs. This model, the Grail CF SL 8.0 SL, remember, is priced at £3,249, although you can get a carbon fibre Grail from £1,999. There'll also be an aluminium version of the Grail available later in the year. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to road.cc's YouTube channels for more new bikes like this.